Hello YouTube, it's me, Neko Boy. Now you may be wondering why I'm recording at like 3:31 in the morning. Well, that's for a simple reason. I just finished playing Deltarune Chapter 5 and I've got some choice words for it. So let me start off by saying that yeah, I'm gonna start a series on Deltarune and other games. I just need to do some cleaning up of my entire YouTube channel to get prepared, and live streaming should be coming back. If you guys don't know, I completed the little hub in OG Network's RPG. So that means my part streams are now a possibility, and I'd be happy to do them. Now, on to Deltarune Chapter 5. So it starts out with, um, I'm gonna try not to get into spoilers here, but basically a special event that happens in the game, and there are specific two characters that bond. Eventually, um, they get to a flower shop, and something bad happens in there, and that's where the game starts. So starting off, um, I was excited this morning. I think I started the game at like 9 in the morning, something like that, and I had absolutely no tools, no guides, nothing, because like my time it had just released like a day ago. So I was kind of running on nothing at all. And that is what happened with it. So I started going into the game and I started playing. It it's an interesting concept. Um, the video I did not expect, but now I think about it, it did happen for chapter 3 as well. So yeah, that's fair enough. And the voice clips, wow, I was not expecting that. It just it blew me away. And of course, we got the little joke options because it's Toby Fox. Um, I enjoyed it. And progressing was a whole league on its own. Now, this might be a skill issue on Mario Kart because I don't normally play bullet hells, but Chapter 5 felt much harder than the chapters before it. I mean, I guess it kind of showed in the final boss of Chapter 4, but that's besides the point. It all felt harder. So, are we surprised that I've died multiple times throughout the game? Me personally, I don't think so. So, I started progressing. Made some solid progress. And mind you, this this was like no prior progress because I had reset my I had reset my progress on the game so that I could go again. experience the whole thing. Go the whole 3 routes. And that meant that I started off with absolutely nothing. So you can imagine not having any prior items and equipment. I was a little bit toast, but thankfully, the way I did it, it gave me good enough equipment to work with. I think it's because like the programmers, because as what I've heard lately, Toby doesn't do programming anymore. So like the lead programmers of Deltarune, I think they recognized the difficulty spike and just gave leisure, or it was part of how the fresh saves are set up for later chapters. I don't know. I couldn't possibly tell you. Um, so I had all that to work with. Did some pretty good progression, and I got to the first boss fight, which was a spooky blue girl who plays with knives for a living. And I reckon she does the knife game in her sleep. I died to her a couple times, but I eventually got the pattern down. So I proceeded onwards, and this is where it gets interesting. Now, in chapter 5, there's a specific item that you can grab, and that item, oh boy, did I have fun with that. It basically turned the whole thing into a platformer. And you know what? I love it. So, getting used to the platformer, I started to have myself a bit of fun, which I did not think I would, but that's probably me getting into the role of being a pessimist. So, I think the gameplay is well taken advantage of, well utilized. And there's also this concept of growing plants, and that comes into real handy when setting up the whole thing. If you watch like YouTube videos and stuff on it, you'll get what I mean. So that's a consistent gameplay gimmick that appears throughout the chapter. And honestly, I find it quite fun. So I get here and there, do more battles. Mind you, I'm doing a lot of sparing during this. But then, at some point, we get to the final area. And oh boy, does it go down here from there. So at first, I thought it was all fine, all nice and dandy. Go to the left, did my thing, spare some enemies, and I mean, I've been having a lot of fun with the boss fights, and then we get to the point where I should have moved forward, but for some reason I didn't. But at the time I didn't know it. So I went back to like the main area, went to the right, did all that, got like one out of two things done. But excuse me. here comes the issues. I didn't know where to go. I went high and low everywhere, even coming across like the little secrets, but I did not find what I needed. And I probably went about this for like roughly 30 minutes to an hour. And it was only then that I realized, oh hey, that door I saw before, I should probably go in it. And I did. I went in that door and went in a progression. So I do all that and then go up to like the important parts. But now I'm having trouble because I'm still adjusting to the gameplay gimmick. And yes, the item is in use during this part, so it's I'm still getting used to it. But eventually I get it down. And doing some progression, I managed to come across a bit of a flag on my next progression point. So heading back, I get all this stuff, all this nice nifty stuff. I go to the next room, everything happens, but then you realize the parts. One of the parts I got stuck. So how that battle worked is it was like a justice law system, and apparently you needed like evidence that you could like find all over the map. So I went and did that, but I had been doing it for so long, I started getting sick and tired. And mind you, this is me playing like I'd have to say 6 hours in a row. So that's a lot of playtime. You can probably imagine I'm getting weary. So at some point, I figure out that one of the things I have to do to get more evidence, I completely missed. So I built up the stuff I needed to pull it off, then did it. And wouldn't you know it, it all went swimmingly. I did die like a couple times, but that's fine. You know, live and learn. So that clears my path for progression. I keep going. I get past the important stuff. Yada yada. Grow more grass. Do more platformer. And then the final home run. I get through that like first try. But then in comes the bane of my existence. The final battle. So the final battle here is what really exaggerates the difficulty spike. At least that's how I feel about it. Going into it, I was sloppy, but I kept improving more and more and more. And at some point, I just kept dying so much that I just decided to try and pull a genocide. But in the programmer's tediousness, they decided, nope, you're already on the pacifist. you're staying on the pacifist or not playing at all. So here I am attacking the antagonist while my teammates heal him. And now that might sound like bullshit, but looking back on it now, it's it's fair. But it gets so bad that I end up just stepping away. And I think it was like 4 o'clock at this time. So at that rate, I've been playing for like 8 hours, which is 8 or 7 hours, which is nuts to me. So you could absolutely, definitely imagine that I am exhausted. So I just get so angry and so pissed that I have to step out of my room. I was gone for like 2 hours, and the goal was to tire myself out so I wouldn't be pissed. I get back home, I go onto the computer, and I continue playing. After several attempts, I decide, screw it, I'm just gonna exit the game and watch some YouTube. And after a bit of stuff, like playing a couple of FNAF games, uh, doing nothing, unpacking my groceries because I went shopping and it helped. I eventually come back to Steam and found out there was an update, and I'm pretty sure that was like 2 hours ago as of recording. So I update it, I pull out my phone, and then I search for the changelog, and I see on that list that they've added the code that makes the final boss easier the more you die. So I think, well, that's great. I suffered for goddamn nothing. And yes, it did feel like suffering. But, and herein lies the big but. I'm talking like fat ass. I decided to go for it anyway. And I go into it. I do my typical spiel of dying over and over. But eventually, I get it down to a science. And like the final road of the final boss, I thought I was gonna die, but I scraped by with like 1 HP. Some goddamn how. I don't know how, but I pulled through it. So I finished the final sequence. I go through everything else, some story beats, and eventually the chapter ends. And now after the chapter ends, I clear my chapter 1 save files to make room for the 3 routes I want to do. Obviously, Weird Route isn't in chapter 1, but it is in chapter 2. So I just sat here in my chair. Oh, you can see it's right here. This is my chair. I'm sitting my ass on it. I sit there thinking to myself while looking through my Steam library, and I'm just kind of lost. You know what I mean? And so that takes us to now. I decided I would record this to get this off my chest. I don't even care if it gets views or not. I just want to put this out there to show what I think. But if you'll give me a moment, I can give you a synopsis. So, be back in a flash. Alright, told you I'd be back in a flash. Now I'm gonna change the clothes. So, I did a bit of thinking, and I'm going to split this up into four tiers. One tier is story, another tier is gameplay, another tier is environments, and the last tier is humor. Because remember, Deltarune was created by Toby Fox, and if you know Toby Fox, he likes to put pretty funny jokes in his games. So first we'll cover humor. Um, with everything I've seen, I want to give it like a 7 or an 8 out of 10. It was pretty good. It got me at times, and I think it made for some good for the game. Next up, environments. Oh, did I load into the real game and see those beautiful graphics? I loved it. For a pixel game, you wouldn't expect it. But the lighting, oh, it was fantastic. So I'm going to give that an 8.5 because it's only apparent in the intro, but not really later in the game. But the intro was that beautiful. It really got to me. Uh, Now the story. The story's pretty good. Um, I liked it. I really liked it. It made sense. It was good, and I thoroughly enjoyed my time experiencing it. Because I'm the kind of guy that enjoys story. And if I say that's a good story, oh, first of all, you shouldn't be taking my word for it. But second of all, you know I'm telling the truth. So for story, I would give it 6.5 or an 8. I liked it. Now for gameplay, we just split this into two categories. Because one is the battle system, and the other is the new gimmick. So the battle system, as usual, is great. I love it. It has that Flare from Chapter 1, when Deltarune first released. So it's a good old 7. Now, the new gimmick. You are on the map, and by that I mean like the main area where you walk through, from a different perspective. So that is like, wow. And second of all, the gameplay is fast. And I play Sonic. I play Sonic, and I think the gameplay is fast. I really like the gameplay. And attacking and acting, oh, I loved it. So for the gimmick gameplay, I want to give it a solid 9 or a 10. Oh, it was so good. So from all that, what do we gather from this? Deltarune Chapter 5, I want to say it's an 8.5 out of 10. I think, oh, I got down with my chest now. I feel much better. What's that? I guess I'm ending it here. Thank you so, so much to those who decided to stick around and watch the whole thing. I'm looking at the timeline and it's pretty long. And there's not really anything interesting going on here. And to me, it doesn't matter if you're paying full attention or having the video on as background audio, because I myself do that. I'm guilty of that. But regardless of however you decide to watch the entire video, thank you. Thank you very much. It, you don't know how much it means to me that you're willing to watch a 20-year-old loser yap about one of his favorite games on the internet. Thank you. And I guess with that, rant's over, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in future videos. Thank you for watching this. I appreciate you. Bye now.